Hi. So we are doing this a bit differently today. I'm just sitting down with a cup of tea to chat with you. And there are some changes coming up here on the channel because everything is in constant change, and so is this channel. And I am changing as always. So I just wanted to talk a bit about that, just to inform you, because it's important that I inform you of the changes that are indeed afoot, so that you are sort of on board. So the changes here are really that I will be gradually stepping away from doing readings for two main reasons. And there are two readings in store still that I will be doing. I think that this is a sort of transition period. And if reading is really the only thing that you came to this channel for, I see you, I understand you, and I appreciate your time here. But this channel will change, whether we like it or not. And so this is something I need to do. But for everyone who has been here, who has appreciated the readings, I am very appreciative of you, of your time, your energy, your love, support. But now it's time to steer away from this. And I'm coming back to these two main reasons, and one of them being the sort of direction that Spirit is telling me that they want the collective to move towards, generally speaking, the sort of forward movement, moving on from here forward. I don't have a script today, so will be a little bit all over the place. And the other main reason is really personal reasons as to why I will not be doing readings. And if you're interested to stick around and to listen to this, and perhaps you will get something out of this, I think especially the sort of topic of where Spirit is guiding us and leading us as a collective could be particularly interesting. And if you're not interested in that, I just wanted to say that changes are afoot, and there will be at least two more readings. Yeah. So, the energy of the collective and what Spirit is guiding and leading us towards is really into autonomy and independency and self-confidence, self-assurance, in believing in yourself, in trusting in yourself, in your own voice and your own inner guide, as sort of your soul and your human being, and therefore relying less and less on external readings. This has been coming up for me quite frequently this last period, and I have been checking in on readings myself, but recently it has just felt very off, like I just know what it is that they're talking about. Like, it's not new information for me, I already know this, or it's just reassurance that I actually don't need but can tap into myself for that reassurance. And this is where we are being led to. And I think that there will be sort of different, it's not like the collective is one big mass that is moving towards the same direction at the same time, but the main current is this. And I was also being alerted to the fact that Chiron is in Aries in retrograde up until the beginning of January next year. And if there's anything that comes to mind when I think about Aries in retrograde, it's investigating your self-doubt and starting to heal that, to come into more self-assurance and autonomy. So the desire from the spirit realm is to, as I said before, to trust in our own inner voice, in our own guide, in our own capabilities, to tune into what is right, where we are heading, and trusting in the silence as well, because there will be periods of silence, and just being at those times and not frantically reaching for reassurance outside of ourselves. And so this is, I think, what Spirit wants us to move away from, these readings becoming a crutch for us in our daily lives. And it's sort of, it's quick and it does its job, and there are many, many very, very talented readers out there. And it can feel good at the moment, but you are also, in a way, giving away your power in some sense. And I think that might need some time to land, and perhaps that does not resonate or feel right to you. This is about tapping into your own autonomy. And so I'm not telling you what to do. You are doing you, but I'm telling you what I'm sensing in the current of the collective. And my purpose, or my sort of, how do I say this even without it sounding really pompous or self-righteous, but my job with Spirit is to tap into the head of the curve, to see into the near future, to the current of what is coming in, to tap into that and to show that to, or represent that to the bigger public or the audience or whatever that may mean. But that's my job. That's my job title. Tapping into the future. So this is what I'm seeing, and this is why it is not appropriate for me anymore to do these readings. And I think that there doesn't need to be a black and white mindset to this. Like, perhaps I will myself reach out to a reader at specific times where I feel like there is information that I need, that I cannot access myself because I have some resistance to it, perhaps at those times. But I do feel a pull away from seeking guidance elsewhere and becoming more apt in my own capabilities. Now, the other main reason as to why I am not doing these readings anymore, thank you for staying, by the way, is a personal one, because this was never supposed to be my job description. I think my ego wanted it to be that way, because that is what I have been exposed to, and I have some gift in that. I have some talent and skill in that. But just because you're good at something, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily the thing that you are supposed to align yourself to or develop, or whatever the right term is here. I think that we can think of this in terms of the South Node and the North Node in astrology. Like the South Node is something like that feels very familiar, very comfortable, something that is comes very, very easily for you, but you don't necessarily, that's not where you're supposed to lend your energy to. You're supposed to reach for something else. And I think perhaps this is something that I have been doing a lot at other times, in other lifetimes. So there is skill in that, but it's not my purpose. It's not my job description in this life. And I have to take into consideration here as well that I am a manifestor energy type. I'm not supposed to do this sort of day in, day out, routinely job tasks like a work hamster. That like I'm not supposed to grind this sort of task. And it really did feel like a grind. Every reading felt like a mountain to climb. It took so incredibly much effort, and it didn't really give me that much back. So it became increasingly exhausting. And I always wonder what was wrong, because I had this idea that this was my dream, this was what I was supposed to do when you're in the spiritual realm and you're interested in tarot and spirituality, you have some wisdom and knowledge to share. Yes, of course, you will be a reader. But actually putting it into practice, I can't do that. I can't do that sort of consistent effort, just workhorse task. My energy lends itself more to spurts, like sitting and writing like a massive amount of time, or creating one course that has a sort of release date, or perhaps writing a newsletter once in a while when I really have something to say, like these spurts, moments of spurts. So where do I want to go with this? Yeah, so I think that when you're doing the thing that is right for you, where you're really supposed to pour your energy and effort and love into, you come into a state of flow eventually. And it takes effort. I'm not saying that it does not take effort, that it's completely effortless, but you are eventually reaching that state of flow, because it's not like you're just laying around and things are just happening for you. So it takes effort. You will actually have to sort of sit by your desk and do your writing, or go outside and do your gardening, or whatever it is. But you will reach this flow state eventually. And I never ever reached flow state when I did these readings, and I think that that's very, very telling. And I think that this part could actually be very beneficial for you in sort of recognizing where you are perhaps lending your energy into something that you're actually supposed to step away from. Now, it was a great learning opportunity. It was a great practice doing these readings, and I'm not in any way regretting it. And I hope you know that I'm not implying that you asked this of me or something like that. You did not. This is my own my own ego mind standing in my own way. So something interesting happened when I accepted this fact that this was not supposed to do the thing, because this is not how I want to experience my life work, like this constant grind without any reward. When I let that go and I just let myself be for a while, I suddenly felt that urge to sort of to write about things that I know and have experienced and have learned about. And I started writing yesterday about tarot and my life journey and things like that. And I dropped into that flow state. It was amazing. It was so amazing. So I will still be sharing wisdom from spirit and from my own human experience. But the container of it, I don't really have any form for that, and perhaps I'm not even supposed to. But I do also crave this element of teaching and mentoring in knowledge and information that I have gained over the years, because I have so much to share. I feel like I have so much to talk about, actually. Like, I have so much, and I have so many insights all the time. Like, this is my life. My life has always been like this, insights after insights every other day, and it's about time that I share it in an unfiltered, unpolished way that helps me heal this perfectionism as well. Because it's not about it being perfect. It's just about sharing, communicating what's going on inside this genius apparatus of mine in here. I think that that's all. So we'll see how this unfolds, but I have to remember, please help me remember, that I'm not supposed to put myself into a strict container of something that already exists. It doesn't suit me to do these readings, in part because it's something that is all that has already been created by others. It's already an existing system, and that's not my job task. I'm not supposed to fit myself into an already consisting container. I have to remember that. Please help me remember if I tend to slip into that again. Anyhow, thanks for being here. Perhaps it will be a bit quiet here during the month of December until I sort of while I realign myself again to what's true for me and my energy and my essence, sort of recovering from overlooking my, or sort of overriding my willpower. I need to heal from that for some time, and then I will be back at the latest in the end of December with a reading for that will be about the first week of January. And I was about to say that I hope that this makes sense, but that's not, that's a fear that I have. I have Aquarius midheaven. That's a fear that I have, that I won't make sense to people, they won't understand me, that they don't get me where I'm at. I'm weird, I'm at a different place than they are. So that's another thing I need to sort of rewire. But I hope I hope you are all doing well. That's how I will end this. And thank you for listening if you stayed until the end. Take care. Bye.